What's up? This is the real deal again with another video. Rock and roll legend Chuck Berry has also passed at the age of 90. You know, when they say death comes in pairs. You know, when one passed, another one passed a day or two later. You know, that happened in my family. But for those of you, especially you young ones, man, that don't know who Chuck Berry is, Chuck Berry was a legendary guitar player, one of the fathers of rock and roll. Chuck Berry, Little Richard, Fats Dominoes, those guys is the pioneers of what you call today's rock and roll. There would be no rock and roll if it wasn't for Chuck Berry, Little Richard, you know, etc. You know, so that's a big loss. You know, also, you know, Chuck Berry, you know, he was a guitarist, and, you know, he was famous for this duck walk. Jimi Hendrix, the late Jimi Hendrix, Eric Clapton, numerous guitar players of today owe Chuck Berry because of his style of playing. You know, when you look at Prince, you know what I'm saying, the great guitar players out here, it goes back to Chuck Berry in that rock and roll era. You know, and also too, Chuck Berry, Little Richard crossed over to the white community with the music. And they ran into a lot of problems, especially playing down south, because white folks didn't want to hear no rock and roll. They called it devil music, you know, but white folks love that music more than black folks. You know, during those times, you know, when Chuck Berry would tour the South, you would have the whites on one side and you would have the blacks on the other side. And I think, don't quote me on this, but there was a lot of trouble when the blacks and whites were together. And if you understand music is universal. You know, when you listen to music, you don't got time for no damn racism, but you know how it is here in this country. You know, I think the barriers was broke at a particular concert where everybody was just on the floor dancing instead of staying on their designated side. And I think the police shut it down. I'm not sure. You know, I have to ask my mother about that, but she was the one who told me that Chuck Berry had passed. Now that's who she grew up with. Chuck Berry, Chubby Checker was another one. As I say, Little Richard. I can't think of some of them right now, but those are the main ones that stick out in my mind. You know, and they, as I said, you know, that's legendary. They're giants, they're icons, whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? And we owe today's music, you know, to those guys. You know, and that's something. Let me talk about this for a hot second, man. Just how much contributions we made to this country concerning music, medicine, sports, you know what I'm saying, fashion. You know, so with the, you know, with the racial climate that we have right now, it don't really bother me too much because I know how much the contributions that we made to this country and the world. You know, so, you know, when you see, I understand, you know, we see a lot of sensationalized news concerning, you know, the Asians, the immigrants and stuff like that. It's got a lot to do with jealousy. You know, there's no people on this planet, especially when it compares to the African American. You understand? That's why, you know, I may be getting off topic a little bit, but I'm starting to really, really believe that we were already here. You know, that we were already here. Not saying it wasn't a transatlantic slave trade, but I just believe that the majority of the black folks were already here. You know, but anyway, you know, I feel good. It makes me proud to be black, and it makes me proud that I know that I am superior, you know, and my people is superior to the rest of the races here. You know, it may not look it because, you know, we at the bottom of the economic ladder, but when you look at music, sports, cooking, just everything, this country wouldn't be the way, this country wouldn't be shit if it wasn't for black folks here, especially the African American. You understand? You know, so once again, you know, we have another loss, you know, Chuck Berry. But you can't really be sad at 90 years old. You know, the man lived a full life. You know, he's got a legacy. You understand what I'm saying? He's got numerous awards and recognition. So, you know, peace to you, Chuck Berry. You dig what I'm saying? You know, I hope they buried you with your guitar. You understand? So I know you're doing that duck walk up there, wherever you at in the spirit world. You know what I'm saying? You know, and with that, y'all, the OG is out. Peace.